Hi, this is Matthew. Going to do the next review of Chicago albums from 1977. I'm going to go to Chicago 10. This is the 10th album of things, counting the live and the greatest hits. So there's 10 albums. It's the number. His first platinum, or the first album to go platinum, the first number 1 single off of here, and it got to number 3 here in the US on the Billboard Top 200, and it charted at 21 in the UK, which they hadn't done in a long time. Apparently people call this the chocolate album, apparently, because there is the logo of Chicago on a chocolate candy bar that looks like a Hershey's. So it's a chocolate bar, apparently, which is interesting. Speaking of bars, again, with the platinum status, Columbia got them cut an actual 25 whatever carat bar of platinum. I wonder who has that. Well, I think Billboard said it was 30, but it was 25 apparently. Yeah, I don't know who holds on to that or where that might be, but they apparently have a platinum bar of that of platinum somewhere. One big hit, If You Leave Me Out, that was the number 1 hit for them. Another one got to be 32, A Rainy Day in New York City. And there's another one that got released. We get a vocal from James Pankow on here, and Lee Lamaine. So our two of our horn players get to vocal. We'll see in just a second from Wikipedia. Yeah, very good album. Definitely more pop oriented than some have been. Some Latin infusion again. I'm not sure if it's all to Lauderdale Oliveira or not, but some kind of Latin styles again on this one, including on one of the bonus demo tracks type things, rehearsal tracks that gets put on here. Also has a feel for that. We'll get to that in just a bit here. We'll see what's on side 1. We start out with, again, it's about 10 tracks or so. Once or twice, Terry Kath wrote it, and he sings that one. And then we go to You Are On My Mind, which we get James Pankow wrote it, and he sings this one. Other people tried, it wasn't what was in his head, and their producer's like, well, why don't you sing it then? Okay, I think I will. So he did. So he just, no one else was getting it quite the way he wanted, so why not? So he does. Then we go to Skin Tight, written by James Pankow. Peter Cetera sings that one. Then we go to If You Leave Me Now, the big hit by Peter Cetera, and he sings that one. Great song. Very, very ballady. Some good instrumentation on all these, but yeah, that is a really good song. Huge number 1, first number 1 for the band, so there you go. Did they contender for Volume 2, maybe a Greatest Hits? I can't remember all that's on that one, but that was on that expanded version. We go to Together Again, written by Lee Lamaine, and he sings that one. There's his vocal debut, kind of like. And then we end Another Rainy Day in New York City ends the first half of the album. Robert Lamb wrote that one, and Peter Cetera sings it. That one I've heard, I think that was on that Take Me Back to Chicago set that I found at the library one time. It was a single disc thing. I believe that one's on there someplace. You Are On My Mind, I know, was also a single that didn't do as well as those two, and that one, and If You Leave Me Now, did. Side 2, we go to Mama Mama, written by Peter Cetera, and he sings that one. And then Scrapbook, Robert Lamb wrote that one, and he sings that one. Then we go to Gently I'll Wake You. Robert Lamb wrote it, and Robert Lamb sings that one. And then we go to You Get It Up. Robert Lamb wrote it. All the band members are on this one. It's kind of an instrumental, I think, if I remember right. There's some nice horn stuff in it. But yeah, they all kind of do some singing briefly in it in places. And then we end with Hope for Love, written by Terry Kath, and he sings that one. And then a couple of our bonus tracks were in 03. They reissued this one on Rhino did. I can't remember releasing some of these in 02, actually. I was looking for other things, and I knew they were releasing. They had a bunch of releases with bonus tracks like this one. Like My Blood, Sweat, and Tears, their second album has some stuff on it. I think it's just a couple lives. We have, our bonus was I'd Rather Be Rich, an original version / rehearsal written by Robert Lamb, and he sings on that one. Kind of political, but not too political. I know they were stepping away from a lot of that, but it still creeps up every once in a while. These were done in 75. And a really cool one called Your Love's an Attitude that Terry Kath wrote and sings on. It gets very Latin-y at the end. He even sings in Spanish. Some really cool acoustic kind of Latin style of guitar he's playing. I think it's him playing that. Really nice, and he sings in Spanish. I'm not quite sure what he's saying. I know I heard like the word for like alone or lonely. I heard that one, but I couldn't catch the other words. I'm brushing up on my Spanish right now, but could not catch what he was saying at the end. It was towards the end of the song. He switched to Spanish vocals for whatever reason. I'm not sure why, but it was cool. I like it. It works. But yeah, that was like a 5-minute song. Our people, of course, probably won't change. Of course, they're back at Caribou Ranch for this one. They're still over there. And they'd had a good break in between this one and the last one because they got tired from touring and everything. They had a nice break and got refreshed and recharged, and launched back in and made this great album. So, of course, had their big #1 on it. So, kind of some foreshadowing of things to come as we go along with Tara doing more ballady things. Kind of changing the direction of the band just slightly, but I think who said it was one of the members. Was cleaning his pool and thought it was a McCartney song. Didn't realize it was theirs. So there you go. Was it James Pankow? Not sure, but how funny. Well, yeah, there are no horns on it, so he probably wasn't involved much with it. I think there's just some woodwinds. There's no brass, so he probably wasn't even. He probably was off playing cards or getting food, or who knows what he was doing while they recorded this one. Maybe he was, I don't know. Maybe he wasn't there for parts of it. I'm not sure involved in the final playbacks these guys were, but maybe he forgot about it. Who knows? But that's really funny that he thought, oh, that's not. Oh, wait, no, that's our song, isn't it? That's not Paul. Oh. Okay. But our personnel, we have the band, of course. James Pierce, Tara, bass lead and backing vocals. Terry Kath, electric guitar, acoustic guitars, except for Leave Me Tomorrow and Hope for Love. Lead and backing vocals, so someone else is on acoustic on those tracks. Robert Lamb on keyboards and backing vocals. That's pretty normal. Lee Lemaine, trumpet, backing vocals, lead vocals, and lead vocals on together again, backing vocals everywhere else, as we know. It's Pinko, trombone, lead vocals, and backing vocals on the two tracks we already talked about. Walter Perry-Zader on woodwinds and backing vocals, of course. Oh, it was Walter Perry-Zader. He thought it was a Paul McCartney song, which is funny because there's some woodwinds on that one. Very funny. And then, of course, Danny Seraphine on drums and backing vocals, of course, on that You Get It Up Like Everybody Was. Lord Oliver was percussion and backing vocals on that You Get It Up track again. Additional people, we have David Dalinsky on keyboards on Hope for Love. James William Garcia will need an acoustic guitar on If You Leave Me Now, and lead acoustic guitar on Hope for Love. So, yeah, Terry didn't play on that one, so okay. The producer did, so he did a nice job. I was saying it was Terry Kath, but it was their producer. So yeah, good job, guy. Those were good parts, and it sounds good. And let's see who does the string arrangement. We'll see if when that comes up. Vince DeRosa and David Duke on French horns. And there's some cool steel drums on Another Rainy Night in New York City, played by Othello Monod. Really nice. I love steel drums. I forgot about a little bonus in there, but there are some steel drums played by this man. Good job, sir. Libby Williams and also did steel drums on the same track. Yeah, I thought there was at least 1 or 2 drums on that. Jimmy Pascal has skill on string arrangements and orchestration on If You Leave Me Now and Mama Mama. Yeah, nice strings on If You Leave Me Now. Nice. I forgot about it on the other one, but that's the one that always comes to my head. Conductor on Gently I'll Wake You. So some nice strings here. Producers, of course, is going to be James William Garcia produced it. Engineered by Wayne Tarnowski. Something like this. It's engineer. Streams recorded by Armin Center of Sound Labs in Hollywood, California. So they had to go and do that separately and then combine them in the final mix and all that stuff. They've done that before, so not a huge thing. Mastered by Lex Sector at the Mastering Lab in Los Angeles, California. Album cover concept John Berg again. Logo design Nick Viceno again. Candy Bar Photo Columbia Records Studio. Photo Studio. Okay, so they just superimposed the logo on an existing chocolate bar, maybe? I'm not sure how that looks, but if anyone wants to tell me in the comments what that looks like. Inside photography was Reed Miles. Yeah, pretty much, our normal bunch of suspects for at this time of their careers. So, yeah, again, a really good album, very solid. Some nice Latin things, good strings, good horns, good everything from the guys. Well played, as always. Such a great bunch of guys. And Terry Kath is only going to be around for maybe two more albums, which is very sad because he's so good, and I hate to see his time end with these guys. But we're not there yet because we're only going to be in '77, the year of Star Wars and things, and Chicago 11. We'll get to next time and see. There's one big hit off of that one that I know. We'll see what other neat tracks I might find as I listen to Chicago 11 next time in the next video.